Oh my God. We are finally here. It is episode 8 of The Lookout. You're here. I'm Meelz. We've got the Platinum Chanel boy Jeff in the building.
Yeah, finally we're back, man.
We're finally back with The Lookout.
So exciting.
I'm wild excited.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why. I feel like a kid, dude. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
This has been so fun to record. Shout out to everyone who listened to last season.
Seriously.
Last season we were pretty ambitious with the way we released it instead of 5 episodes 1 week, and everyone sort of who cared enough listened the entire week. So shout out to them.
Just honestly, that was the most humbling thing about it, right? It's like we're talking about an anime. Mm-hmm. We're both young black kids, just talking about cool stuff that we enjoy, and people came back to mess with it. So I think that was awesome.
That was amazing. Shout out to Perfect Legend, who was on the last episode.
Yeah.
Blessed us with his genius of Fighter Z. Perhaps some shit went over my head,
I mean, mine too, dude.
But we are back, and we are kicking off season 2. And if you've seen the promos, you've seen the graphics. We've been dropping them all week about how this season belong to the Android Cell Saga. Do you think it's just the Android, or is it like Android Cell? Some people split it in 2. Some people use the slash or something. It's Android Cell.
You know what? I like reminding people that Cell is an Android. So he's just the ultimate, So it's Android Saga, man. Cell games, Android Saga.
Cell games and Android Saga, and we've got a whole bunch to sort of go over with. I've been reading the manga. The manga isn't too different from like the actual show this time.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought it would be more different because this is my first experience actually diving into the manga. Is there any sort of like manga series that is like completely different, or not completely, but like radically different at some point from the actual show?
Well, like not Dragon Ball?
Yeah, no. Dragon Ball related, like any arcs. Like I know the Goku Black arc.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because I don't know if it's the newer stuff, quote unquote, but the manga is definitely deeper for Super. I think some of the older Z stuff, they left some things you can't get from the anime that's in the manga, but they did a good job with the manga, like earlier on when Dragon Ball Z was like popping. They basically put a lot of stuff in there, but there's some things that got missed out. But for the most part, it's little stuff,
right.
Things that you would end up finding on the internet, little tweaks about the family or Dr. Gero tidbits, stuff like that, but nothing crazy.
Listen, we've got a whole, show. We've got multiple chapters. We've got plenty of things to run through. We've got androids. We got Super Saiyans. We've got everything running through. But the first thing that we should probably talk about is the latest news on the new Dragon Ball Super movie that is coming out this fall, that is dropping towards the end of the year.
It needs to be next week.
It really does.
I miss Super so much, dude.
Oh my God. So they're dropping a new movie. We've talked about this before, but we've got some more news on it. We've got there was recently an interview, and really interviews are like, I'm learning this is how like basically everyone in Dragon Ball gets their information.
That's it.
Interviews, because everyone is like so involved within the show that they have questions and just questions to ask. And these are really like, even part of I've done research for the entire Android Saga for most part. Everything is pretty much interview related. Like Akira Toriyama says that, S cells and all this other shit that we'll get into. Yeah. But we've got new news. We've seen that the new Dragon Ball Super movie is going to have a multi-layered story.
Of course, right?
Set in the past and the present, including multiple characters and new machines and new planets and all this
new
other
machines.
Shit.
When I saw that, I was like, are we going to be time traveling again and messing up?
We're 100% going to be time traveling. I feel like it's definitely going to be. I don't know if it'll be us time traveling or whatever comes back. It's definitely the antagonist is from either the past or the future.
Right.
Everyone's speculating the past or something.
I'm going to assume, because if we end up diving into that original Super Saiyan God,
yeah,
I'm going to assume it's from the past, but who knows, man?
Well, let's talk about it, because this entire story, this is, I don't think it's the first movie that's about Saiyans. Quite frankly, every movie is about the fucking Saiyans.
Yeah,
But this is the one that sort of uncovers the history. So I think it'll actually be, kind of like the recent movies where the actual movie has played a role in the anime in terms of uncovering things, in terms of speaking about things, in terms of it affecting, introducing new characters that may be introduced into the anime going in 2019. I think this one will be about the Saiyans, and everyone's sort of talking about how this might feature the original Super Saiyan God, and there's a long story behind that in terms of, if you have not looked up on Dragon Ball Wikia about Yamoshi, which is what everyone thinks is sort of that main villain that's facing Goku in the first trailer. Yamoshi is the original Super Saiyan God that's briefly explored in the Battle of Gods film. He is originally, I believe, that Frieza, we were all led to believe that it was a Super Saiyan that Frieza was afraid of, just rising up, and it's a Super Saiyan, and it's one of those that can come and they take over the universe. But it's kind of hinted now that it was a Super Saiyan God, which way exceeds the role of a Super Saiyan in it, and the legendary Super Saiyan might have just been a Super Saiyan God. How do you feel about that?
It's like, well, the whole Super Saiyan God phrase, right?
Yeah.
So is it what Goku became in Super? Or is this just a whole nother being, original Saiyan, who is the god of all Saiyans? What's the difference between Goku Red and this guy?
You know what? I don't know if there's much, because it's so loosely and vaguely explained. And I think they did that on purpose because they sort of knew they were going to get into it later. But what it does kind of ties the piece around it is, Frieza sort of destroying, the Saiyan planet, and Beerus ordering him to, and then Beerus having that dream about the Super Saiyan God. So it kind of ties into that, maybe in a sense of just why Beerus would order Frieza to destroy the planet of the Saiyans, just so one of those wouldn't come and become stronger. But then little does he know that an actual Super Saiyan becomes pretty much his pupil at this point, Super Saiyan God. I'm excited for the film, man. I'm just interested. I'm sure whatever, they've done a great job with the stories thus far. I've been watching the dub of the Goku Black Saga. It's amazing thus far. And I'm sure we'll get to it at some point.
Yeah, for sure. As far as like what they're doing with this film, I'm super excited for it. When they get back to bringing Dragon Ball back, whatever they end up calling it, if it's Super again, whatever. But I just hope the first season isn't just this movie stretched out.
You know what it might be?
Into a bunch of episodes.
You know what? I think it was last time. I don't know. Maybe because they couldn't hire people to draw. Because, as we said, the animation was shitty for like the first 56 episodes of the season. It was terrible. Like, maybe they were just like, this is budget cuts and we're just trying to do something. It's like a money grab. Like, of course this works.
Now they know what they have.
Right.
So
100%.
It's probably much different. Their situation going into this is probably way different than how they went into Super. I mean, they have all the power now. They can literally get away with whatever they want to get away with, and everybody's probably going to enjoy it for the most part.
One thing, just a few more tidbits about this sort of new movie. There was an interview with Dragon Room Chief Akio Iyoku, and he talked about just various things that Toriyama, wanted when he was looking at this movie. He said one thing when auditioning new character designer, the people who draw the characters, he's like, if they could make a character standing cool, standing straight forward, because it's easy to make a character look cool facing to one side. So I don't know.
That's such a descriptive, like such a unique thing to demand, right? Like, I mean, I'm not an illustrator, so I don't know what that feels like.
Right.
But he may just have very tidbits to his franchise to make sure that it goes the right way.
Right. There's definitely little like nuances that they want. There was like whether or not in the interview they say whether they could draw Goku's face or not was irrelevant. They had to take care of the fundamentals. They had a body balance was something they looked forward when there was drawing these, and we see the new character designs. I mean, the new designs are they're a lot more fluid, as we talked about, a lot more
I love it. If the whole next series looks like this, I wouldn't even I'll be super excited.
He says the story includes a lot of crowd pleasing fan service. I'm not mad at that.
They figured it out. They figured it out. Dude.
Yeah, they figured out that we love Dragon Ball Z and we love Dragon Ball, and we would like that story to continue and not sort of what happened with GT.
Please don't. That would break my heart, dude.
But listen, that's the movie. I'm sure there'll be more information that pops up. I'm sure there'll be a lot more things that pop up in the upcoming months, and we're going to cover it on the lookout.
Yeah, things are going to leak too, so it just is what it is.
Let's get to the show, man. Let's talk about
this Android Saga.
We're talking about the Android Saga.
I think it's a bit underrated.
I feel like it's my favorite.
Cell. I think Cell, when we get to talking about the Cell games at some point, it's like that was so massive because of Gohan, but the Android Saga just has so much history in it. You know what I mean?
It's got history, it's got story, it's got nuance, it's got layers, it's got a bunch of accidental things that happen that kind
of relationships.
Yeah. It's essentially it took what happened when we were on planet Namek for a long ass time.
Too long, bro.
A long time in this sort of linear story of just you face this bad guy and then there's going to be a stronger bad guy. And once you face that stronger bad guy and beat him, then you face the other stronger bad guy. And then once you face that bad guy, you face the strongest bad guy who actually becomes stronger 3 times over. So it takes this sort of linear story and it adds a whole bunch of different dimensions to it. It adds a bunch of different webs. It's really, when we talk about multi-layered for this movie, this is a multi-layered. These are things that I'm still finding out watching this season today.
Oh, absolutely. The stuff that we discussed, we were gonna watch is I saw plenty of things that I missed, right, when I was younger or when I watched it 2 years ago. There's always something I'm catching.
Now, do you remember watching this live at all?
Yeah. Yeah, this was the prime time for me. I think Android Saga Cell games is what really took me, overboard as far as enjoying Dragon Ball Z.
You know what it reminds me of, and not to harp on Pokemon too much, it reminds me of when we finally went from Kanto to Johto and that sort of thing, and just
that's a perfect example, bro.
That new adventure.
It's different, right?
It's different, and it's we yearn for it because when we were watching Toonami, people don't go through this now because everyone watches sort of the dub, the subs. Yeah. So in Japan, it's pretty much every week that's going, and in Japan there was no interruption between Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. The shows literally kept going.
They just went
after week after week. You can look on Wikipedia. Every week it hits the mark. It went for week after week after week for God to be 5-6 years.
Right.
We're in America. Only the first, I believe it was the first 54 episodes were dubbed.
I would go through a whole school year and not see any new Dragon Ball.
Right. So we sat there on Toonami. We watched Raditz kidnap Gohan forever. Yeah. We watched them reach to a certain point in the Frieza saga forever because there was only sort of 54 episodes that were dubbed and aired on Toonami. But, once the series started gaining steam, once the series started gaining popularity, Funimation decided, listen, we're taking the reins of this and we're starting to dub the rest of the series. And we had to wait, I think, 10 months long from the end of the Frieza saga. We had to wait a couple months in itself just to finish off the Frieza saga.
Right. At that time, we're in 2018, so there was no way to go get subbed.
Yeah, the internet was trash then. If you do not know, internet was trash. It was straight dial-up, straight AOL.
All we knew is what we knew. When I first saw a Japanese Pokemon card for the first time, I didn't even know. I was like, where'd you get this from? It's a similar feeling. It's these things, when dial up and like, you know, LimeWire and all that stuff started popping up, it's like, wow, there's a lot more out here than I had any idea about.
I will make this whole planet suffer. This can't be happening. I am the Prince of all Saiyans once again.
I just remember everything from sort of photos and like those like GeoCities websites that like would recap the walkthrough and like recap power levels, because power levels was the thing back then. Like,
Absolutely.
There's a chart where it's like literally
The biggest thing.
It goes through each saga and what power level everyone's at and how disgustingly low Earthlings are compared to Saiyans and like the new villains and all this other shit.
Did you ever get tricked by any fake designs on, you know, just being around the internet and not knowing what was going on overseas?
There was always this rumor of Dragon Ball AF, which is like After Future, which had. It was like the precursor to what Ultra Instinct was, because Goku had white hair, but he was also red, and like and there's actually action figures made from this.
He also was like the size of Brawly.
Yeah,
he was huge. I was like, what's going on?
Listen, look up Dragon Ball AF. It's this weird sort of fan-made, long-running like myth regarding the show. Goku has white hair. He's also red. It is insane. It builds off of what Super Saiyan 4 was, and I believe this is like Super Saiyan 5 or whatever it is. Totally ridiculous.
So creative.
But we finally get I literally remember the moment. I can remember the promos now of, you know, they're going through and the promos on Toonami of just like, oh, we're getting the Android Saga, and it finally shows up. We're back, you know, Goku's still not back, of course, you know, whatever.
Of course he's not. Yeah.
But Frieza is, which is
oddly enough.
Frieza is, and we initially thought he was dead. I don't know.
Well, you know, I always assume the villain's not dead.
I never knew he came back until this actually aired, because I knew about Cell and I knew about the androids and everything. I never actually knew that Frieza came back. So once they did the whole thing of Frieza's coming back, I'm like, oh shit, I'm excited. Everyone's gearing up. They're flying around, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we got to get our Saiyan armor. Frieza's back. Vegeta's in a pink shirt.
Man,
you know,
I remember being pissed about Frieza coming back.
Why?
I would talk to a buddy about it and I was just like, well, because first of all, if you guys grew up around the Toonami era, the original Toonami era, what it felt like was 15 minutes of Dragon Ball Z and 15 minutes of commercials. That's what it felt like.
100%.
Right? So like Frieza Saga was so long.
And you know what? They do this thing too when they introduce new sagas where there's like, you're waiting for this new saga to start, but like the first like 10 minutes of the newest episode is complete filler.
Dog, it really like, and so hearing that Frieza was coming back, I just started having flashbacks of just like what I had to deal with, especially when you get in a situation, something dope's happening or great transformation's about to happen, and then to be continued. Frieza's back. He's a half cyborg at this point. Yeah.
He blew up but did not die.
Ironically enough, half cyborg, right?
Right.
It's like turn him to an android too.
Right. Easy foreshadowing. He shows up. He's half cyborg. He's like, yo, I'm about to destroy this Earth. Apparently, he makes it before Goku. He can sense that Goku's on his way. He's like, nah, my ship is faster, stronger. He's with his father, King Cold,
right?
Who's never really explored through this entire series at all. Just mentioned, and he shows up from time to time because he's there, but he's never really explored outside of the fact. It's never as like, is he the king of the universe? I believe Frieza is.
Like King Cold is he's a spicy character.
I like him.
I do too. He has like,
I like him.
He has like that elegant just the way that he is, like the way he carries himself.
No, yeah, he doesn't care sort of much.
Yeah.
He's like, why are we at there's one line that made me laugh so much. He was just like, what's the saying? And and Frieza's like, I know you're bored, but please keep up.
Dude, like even later, like they have a lot of good moments between him and like King Cole had a few fun like lines that were just like this
with
guy
Trunks
really
and stuff.
Yes, dude. He's just like he really just doesn't know what's going on. He's just like, oh, okay.
He's like,
the sword
has to be the reason you beat my son. And I'm just like, bruh.
Like, come on, you serious?
Oh my god. So we get the introduction of Trunks as well, who has the coolest introduction. Might be the coolest introduction in DBZ history. Well,
he was so his attitude when he first arrived, it had that it was Vegeta, but it was just,
you know what? To me, it was more youthful. It was more cool.
Right.
His fit has to be one of the best fits in all of the series.
I agree.
He makes the half jean jacket look, somewhat presentable.
Yeah, man. The cut off jean jacket, the color scheme, the hair color, his eye color, before going Super Saiyan. The design them in general.
Yeah, we all see everyone in sort of these martial art uniforms. He comes in this sort of like futuristic. This is like style in the future, whatever the fuck that shit is. He shows up. He comes there. He's like, "You must be Frieza," which is his famous first words. Frieza underestimates him.
Of course,
wrong. And probably within like 2 episodes, we have one of the coolest deaths in the entire series.
Nobody and the kid in me explodes because, again, I'm thinking Frieza's back. We're about to have to deal with this for a whole year.
Another 60 episodes. I counted how many episodes Goku and Frieza fought. I think it was around like 60. It's between 62 or 67 episodes, which is like way too fucking long.
I feel like it's a troll that Trunks just handled him so fast. It was like, we know you guys. We gave you 60 plus episodes of Goku Frieza. Well, this new Saiyan is gonna take him out in 2. So,
and he becomes the second person in the series to turn Super Saiyan, and it literally you could feel the piss running down Frieza's leg.
It's time you understood who I really am. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to let the 2 of you in on a little secret. You're about to find out what it's like to fight a real Super Saiyan. And I'm not talking about Goku. What? You cracked me up, kid. I've never met anyone who laid it on quite as thick as you. No, it can't be.
What is he?
And
was it underwhelming to you?
No, it wasn't, because
Trunks' transformation. I mean,
no, I think it was. You know what? If this was a way to introduce, like, it wasn't something that was provoked. Mm-hmm. This was something that obviously he's done before, and I think they're trying to get over Super Saiyans in the series, but they didn't want to have to do it with Vegeta and trying to figure that story out. But the introduction of Trunks and him turning Super Saiyan, to me, is one of the best moments of this entire saga. Just having him coming here, and it's the first thing that you see. It's fucking amazing, man.
And his hair is awesome. Trunks is his overall, his regular, his Super Saiyan. It's just so different, because at that point, all we saw was Goku, right? I'm sure everyone assumed Vegeta would have his moment too, but there's not much you can do with his hair. With Trunks' hair, prior to becoming Super Saiyan, it's just regular flowy, blue hair. So when he transforms, it looks completely different.
Yeah, I think I think they set the stage perfectly. And this was great that it ended up being Trunks and not Vegeta, because I think when they end up setting the stage for Vegeta, it's fucking amazing as well.
Oh.
They really give Vegeta his own moment instead of kind of grouping it in with Frieza, because I don't think Vegeta would feel the same way about him killing Krillin like Goku would.
Exactly.
But we get one of the coolest deaths. He literally catches him from behind, slices him in half, and then slices him in like 16 more pieces and blows the shit out of him.
Boom, just like that. And that was the end of Frieza.
That was the end of Frieza. He kills King Cold just off rip. He's just like, King Cold doesn't last more than 3 episodes in the show.
King Cold ended up talking a lot of shit.
Yeah. It's my favorite. It's my favorite dialogue. It's really
King Cold talked a lot of shit after Frieza died, and I'm just like, bro, you see what just happened to your son, right?
Yeah. Now, do you think King Cold is stronger than Frieza at this point?
I don't know. I always thought meta Frieza looked really dope, but I always thought it was a bit like overrated,
right?
Just off of what Trunks did to him. But I don't know King Cold. I don't know. I'm gonna assume that. I don't think he was stronger than Frieza, bro.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'd have to go back and look at power levels from.
Listen, there's definitely a power level chart. It's probably old. There's this old power level chart that shows how much stronger things are, and after a certain point, zeros just keep adding up. That's why they get kind of ridiculous.
I do want to say this real quick about Frieza, since he's he's dead in this Android Saga. I hope on this next series we get to see mothers more. I just wanted to say that. I want to see Frieza's mom. I want to see.
You think he has a mom?
I don't know, man. I mean, he's got a brother.
They reference parents. There's obviously a family. Yeah, they reference parents, but they don't really reference women in the show at all. Not even from a villain standpoint or even an alien standpoint.
Look at Namekians, for example. Like,
just all male.
They're all males.
Everybody that sort of Goku and Frieza.
Piccolo said that. What's it? Oh no. Who said? Was it Dende? I think Dende said. What was the leader's name on that?
Mori? Or no. You're talking about before that. Shoot. Damn.
The big guy, my big guy. King,
Nah, he's not King anything, man. You know what? If I remember the abridged series, I would 100% know his name.
Well, anyway, he's the one who gave birth. Yeah, he's the one who gave birth to all the Namekians.
Yes, Guru is the one who gave birth.
So there you go. Thanks, Dende.
Listen, and not too short after Trunks is here, he says, "Listen, in 3 hours, Goku's gonna come back." And in 3 hours, sure enough, Goku is here, and they're all wondering, how the hell who's this mystery man? How could we all figure this out? And Trunks fills Goku in on sort of everything that's about to go on. The scary, shaky event, which adds a level of very much like, it adds this layer, this like, not a sinister layer, but it's definitely a dark layer.
Yeah, and it lets the audience know that shit's gonna go down very soon.
And it goes down in a different time, and it's he tells Goku, there are 2 androids going to show up on May 12th, 10 a.m. If you have not, realized it by now.
Yeah. We'll explain more later, right?
He's going to show up May 12th, 10 a.m. 2 killer androids are going to show up, and they're going to pretty much just wreck everything, destroy all the Z Warriors, destroy Piccolo, so the Dragon Balls are useless. Goku, you're going to die of a heart attack months before even the battle starts. I'm the son of Vegeta and Bulma.
And then Goku absolutely flips out. And thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
This is to me, time travel. Not only, I believe, time travel added to this saga, but it also complicated things entirely too much. And it doesn't just complicate things in this saga, but when Trunks comes back in Super, it completely complicates things there as well.
Right. I wish we could have saw like a what if Trunks never came? Like I mean, just in general, like the whole aspect of it. How does it go?
That's probably the history of Trunks, which we'll get into. Oh shit. Goku's alive. I think we undersold it, but Goku's alive. The planet blew up, Namek is terrible at this point. Namek has failed to kill 2 people. And a planet that exploded failed to kill 2 people. I have no, new Namek, old Namek. It kind of just a big fail.
Namek sucks, man.
Yeah, Namek kind of stinks. He explains how he sort of gets off the planet, and they talk about training. They talk about, we're gonna to Piccolo is filled in all of this because he has super hypersensitive hearing, which is, some cool Namekian shit, I guess.
I'm saying, like, he just, when I was younger, he turned his head, he kind of turns his head on the episode and he's just like listening in. I'm like, how long has he been doing this?
And why hasn't he used this in other?
Right. Like what in the world? Is this new?
Oh my God. Listen, he talks about that, and they all say, you know what, we're not going to stand here. We're not going to get washed. It would be easy to stand here and become washed and get and die. Everyone's going to go train, because really that's all what Dragon Ball Z is about. Yeah. Is kind of training, becoming stronger, and doing all of this other stuff. To me is amazing. And yeah, that's sort of the first big reveal of this entire saga, that everything is sort of shifted. It's gone beyond just, gone beyond just planets. Now we're transcending time. Crazy.
And time is ruining a lot of different things. I mean, even, them stating Trunks coming was a risk in general. Piccolo listening in, I think, was the real reason everything got fucked up, by the way.
Really?
Really? I think Piccolo was not supposed to hear all that, bro.
Really? He was not supposed to hear that, because in the timeline, he probably should have heard that he's dead.
I'm like, why is he? And then he's about to spill all the beans. He was about to tell everything.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't going to tell everything, man.
He told Goku, he's like, don't worry, I'm going to leave out.
Yeah, he's going to leave out all the cool details. But he's gonna, I don't know, like
his face when he finds out Vegeta's
we're gonna find out. Trunks eventually realizes that he may have had a part in sort of ruining everything, and then it kind of like nixes it and then says something else, help ruin everything, which we'll get to later, and that something else ends up being Cell, who returns before Trunks does. Spoiler alert.
I mean, hopefully now.
We get cool little filler series. We get, there's Yamcha attempting to train under 300 times gravity.
Some of the best fillers, I think.
That was funny as hell to me. And I was just like, why do you keep doing this to Yamcha?
This man was so jealous of Vegeta.
He was jealous.
He was in there watching in the the machine, looking
like
at
a hater
training, like what no, yeah, like a straight hater. Then Vegeta walks out and he just, I'm gonna go in there. If he can do it, I can do it. It's like, why would you assume that? Like,
why would you think? Just from history has shown us that Saiyans are
go play baseball, dude.
Right? Like it's so funny. So he tries to train on the 300 time gravity, fails, almost dies. It's really this like. It's this like pathetic part of the series. It's really pathetic. Like I would go and watch it. Don't skip over the filler. Vegeta,
not in this saga. No.
Vegeta has a nightmare about not being able to turn Super Saiyan. Once he sees 2 Super Saiyans, not only Goku has surpassed him, but this new weird guy from the future has come and he turns Super Saiyan, and somehow Vegeta, the prince of all Super Saiyans, cannot achieve this feat.
Just couldn't take it. Just couldn't take seeing somebody else Super Saiyan. He's like, man, you got to be kidding me. There's another one?
Right. Bulma and Vegeta have Trunks at some point. There's a funny way how that... do you watch the abridged series?
Say that again?
Do you watch the abridged series of Dragon Ball?
No.
It's pretty funny. I'll link you to it. I think you should watch it.
Link me.
I will definitely link you to it. If it's... A lot of people, I realize, have not seen it. And I don't want to say it's a best kept secret because millions of people have seen this and it's like a pretty frequent thing, but it's one of the funniest shit ever, how they conceive Trunks. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Well, because, I probably would, because Vegeta is just, even like when you think about it just regularly, right? You're just like, all right, wait a minute. Vegeta and Bulma.
He's the key thing of the asshole gets the girl.
But I'm saying, like, what kind of game did he put on Bulma?
You know what? I don't think he has to put much game on her because I don't know. Look at her track record of what she's been done for the last 10 years. I think just anything different.
That's fair. She's been
I'm
dealing with
wondering-
Yamcha for a minute.
I'm wondering now. Do I have to wonder what game Bulma put on Vegeta?
I guess that's probably the better question because I can't see Vegeta approaching her in any kind of fashion like, yo, you want to go out?
I'm assuming it's going to be very awkward at this point. This is some Dragon Moon X shit.
Was it a one-night stand? I think it was a one-night stand, bro.
It might have been because he really doesn't care about her or that.
I think it was more of that. And then, oh man, dude, Vegeta's just super cruel.
Super cruel, doesn't care.
To Bulma. This man woke up in the bed. Can we talk about this already? Because this is one of my favorite parts.
No, go ahead.
This man Vegeta was training under circumstances that maybe he shouldn't have been. But, he's the Prince of all Saiyans. So he gets completely fucked up training. Bulma's taking care of this man. This man's in the bed, wrapped up, got his head wrapped up, looks like he's just taking a beating. And Bulma's on the table asleep. Vegeta wakes up. They do the little thing where they let you hear what they're saying in their head. And Vegeta's like, what's she doing here? like bro, he's just so rude, bro. It's like, what do you think she's doing here?
Oh my god.
Shut up, woman.
I don't think he's I don't know how many women the Saiyans had. I don't know if he's come in contact with a woman for a very long time that he's had to sort of live with. But all of this is funny. Just a social interaction between Vegeta and Saiyans and women in general. Because Goku's no better at this.
No, he's really not, dude. He's really not. He's more of a like Vegeta is more of like on purpose.
Yeah.
Goku's more like
oblivious to it all.
Like you kiss your wife, like that
was funny.
Like, that was great.
That was hilarious. And we get one of the greatest filler episodes ever. To me, the greatest filler episode of all time.
Which one? The license?
Goku and Piccolo learn to drive. To me, is one of the greatest filler episodes. I've never, I didn't like it.
It is the best. It is the best.
I didn't like it when I was a kid, mainly because I'm like, yo, can we get to the androids already? Like, because I'm ready. I waited 10 months to see this fucking season, and you're throwing filler in this.
It had purpose though. I think it did. Like even before they left, right? They were at Goku's crib, and Chi-Chi was going in, and I think again Piccolo was eavesdropping.
Oh yeah,
and he was just. I think he told Goku, he's like, I don't even know how you deal with this.
Right.
And he's like, you guys gotta go get your license.
Both of you. If you're going to be living here too, you need to get your license too. And he's like, yo, she is not even my wife.
Right.
So we get, Majunior and Goku. Or is that what he called himself at this point? I don't know if he called himself Majunior at this point.
I don't know.
But they learn to drive. It's a hilarious episode if you have not seen it. To me,
Piccolo's fit was hard, bro.
Oh my god! Listen,
such a hard fit, bro. And it was Goku's clothes, but like I ain't never seen Goku wear that shit. But Piccolo looked fly in it, man. He had the hat on perfect.
Yo, seeing Goku at all, I'm just like, yo. At this point, we've seen Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo in street clothes, and we're just like, yo, where do they get their fits from?
I'm saying, like, all their fits are hard. Like, I'm like, man, Supreme needs to capsule this.
Listen, yes, the shirt says Post Boy on it.
The hat with the Goku with the extra U, bruh, say
rare.
No more, man.
Dead stock.
It's gonna be a StockX in no time.
Oh my god, easily, bro. Fuck. Fast forward after that episode, and immediately after that episode, we get to the heavy shit. The androids. 3 years have passed by. They've trained immensely. They're heading to whatever city is west of South City.
That location.
Yeah, to location. An hour before, they make sure to be prompt just in case, he's wrong. They trained for 3 years. They didn't fully trust this guy because they were just like, we're going to go see if these androids are here or not. We don't even actually know. We don't know if we could trust this guy from the future, but we're training just in case. Even though I think I don't know. I don't know if they would have trained anyway. But
I mean, probably. I'm like, yo, y'all should have just went in the hypothetical time chamber right then and there.
This is true, but of course the story wouldn't. Story wouldn't. Sense, it doesn't make any sense at this point. The androids, they're waiting for the androids. We're introduced to Baby Trunks. we're introduced to the fact that, I mean, they're all introduced. At this point, we know that Vegeta's the father. And Yajirobe's coming. He drops off some senzu beans because that's really the extent of his role at this point.
That's it. He has some comic relief and senzu beans.
And his ship gets blown up.
Yeah.
And they see the two androids and they escape into the city. And now the chase is on. To me, a good introduction and sort of like being able to,
Big plot twist, man.
Yeah, being able to. This shit is true. They're coming off the rip and they're destroying people and things immediately. Mm-hmm. We see androids. We see an old man and a fat clown show up. They start breaking people's necks and breaking cars and shit.
Yeah,
blowing shit up.
Crazy episode.
If you were an android, what number would you think you would be? Shit, I was thinking.
I feel like I'll be a single digit, man.
A single digit android?
Yeah, like Android 8.
I'm thinking, I don't know. I might be 22. I might literally be the next one.
22?
I'm thinking 22. 22 was a good year for me. Being 22. A lot of good things happened for me at 22. A lot of things good happened to me at 27 too. So that might be another.
As long as I was created after the Majin saga, then that's cool. I think the design for 19 and 20, who we'll get into. I
mean, we get into them now.
How did you feel about 19 and 20? Like I like the twist, of course, why they're there, and
I like the consistency that they're going for. They're really a tag. If everyone knows what I like in tag teams, there's tag teams that match. If you know wrestling or listen to the A Show, shout out to the A Show with Justin Davis. I like teams that match. Their fit is very, it's
19's
like,
fit.
Yeah, it's like, it's mixed with like something from the 30s, mixed with like a host at some sort of casino.
It looks like Gero designed it like when Goku was a kid. And he just like finally got it together.
I'm interested. Listen, I think we're covering fits, and I don't think a lot of people have taken that into mind of just the clothes that everyone wears.
Yeah, dude, it's one of the best parts about the show.
And I'm glad we're going into it, but I don't the inspiration for this. I don't know. They got the little hats. I forgot where the hats are.
It's very unique. It's just like the most thing that annoyed me was 19's voice, but that's a whole nother beast.
Androids arrive. They are destroying everything. They're just killing everything. And the first one to find them.
Of course, the guy who probably just shouldn't even be there. The guy who almost died from gravity is the first guy to run into these androids.
It is Yamcha. Again, man, I want to reference the bridge so much. I'm gonna have you watch the bridge. The bridge is pretty funny. I'll check it. Because in the bridge, they look like, is this Goku? I think this is Goku.
Yeah, no, I need that.
Which is making a joke. Is like, he has a scar on his face. I'm like 89% sure it's Goku.
I feel like I saw you like retweet something, and I watched it.
I've retweeted it.
I thought it was hilarious.
That's
probably what it was.
But
Yamcha, man, they
destroy Yamcha, and he's probably listen. We'll get to the death. Don't get me wrong, but he's probably the worst gauge. They probably like, oh, this shit finna be a breeze. Like,
right, bro. You see him, and you're just like, oh, this is nothing. All right,
he's about as strong as they probably think he is. Like, it's not something like beyond their calculations. Like, oh shit, we missed Namek. Like we didn't get Namek in our calculations. It's like Yamcha is as strong as they probably assumed he would be. And he goes through one of the most gruesome. It's not a death because he doesn't die.
I'm sure he wished he died because that shit looked terrible. First of all, he's getting his energy drained.
Mm-hmm. Through his face, by the way.
Through his face. And then, we learn later that there's other ways that they can absorb energy too. But yeah, He had, his hand wrapped around Yamcha's mouth, and he's just taking everything he's got from him. And then in the process, Well,
hold on.
I mean,
I want to set the background too. At some point, a truck shows up, and a truck tries to run in, and Android 20 destroys the truck. So now in the background, there's this like fire and smoke, and it's really kind of look like this type of hell. I think that's what they're trying to get.
It's very eerie.
They want to sort of recreate hell because at this point, this is how everything is sort of seeming at this point, and he takes his hand and he pretty much rams it through Yamcha's chest. And
Literally.
if you're watching the kid show, I think they edit out the sounds. But
yeah, they do. And I think the blood is like, it's just a black hole. Like it's just like black.
It's just black. It's just black stuff. But if you're listening, if you watch Ocean's Dub or anything else, like you literally hear his hand breaking.
Anything like that.
You hear his hand breaking. It's either breaking through his ribs or it's breaking through his spine, because there's some. It's like a pop. It's like a push, pop, crack, and then his hand goes through.
You hear 20's hand literally go all the way through this man.
Wait a second. What's the point of telling the others? I haven't found them yet. Huh? You two better be careful. There's a couple of androids on the loose and they mean business. No, you can't. We are they. I found them!
And it's gruesome. His hand is straight through it. He's kind of doing this. I don't want to say it's a Nazi salute, but it kind of looked like a Nazi salute.
Don't put that on there. Don't say that.
Listen, we've had Nazis in GT. I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I mean, hey.
But
GT. Don't even know.
It's kind of weird. And then the most cruel part, and I wanted to put it on Twitter. When I was talking about the deaths that we're going to talk about this, I wanted to put it on Twitter because there's blood dripping from his socks and his shoes. Yeah. But I think that was just like too graphic for Twitter. I don't know. Maybe it was just me.
No, but you could post that.
But I've seen worse. I've seen OD worse.
You could post it. Worse. I'm gonna find the GIF. So everybody can see it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop
blood dripping off his feet. Tien shows up and he's like, "Oh shit, Yamcha!" And
Tien does the right thing.
Tien does the right thing. Tien stands there and watches a little bit.
He does the right thing.
3 eyes, and he's just like, "I'm chilling over here."
He does the right thing.
But Yamcha doesn't look so good.
Oh wait, you know what? Okay, I did see the other thing you're talking about. Yamcha pulls up and he's like, "What?" He says, or Tien pulls up and he's like,
he's literally like, "Oh man, dude,
yeah, not again."
You couldn't wait like 3 minutes.
Yeah, okay, I did see that.
That's part of the bridge thing. It's literally
yes, definitely send me that. Then.
Half of my memory is literally like a bridge thing, so having to watch this reminds me of the actual dialogue and things, because the bridge has sort of changed my warped mind, because Tien literally says what everyone is thinking. It's like, bro, you couldn't last like 5 minutes. Yamcha's almost dead. The rest of the Z Warriors who are there show up. At some point, Krillin, grabs Yamcha, take him back. He was like, "Yo, he's not dead yet. Get him a sensu bean."
There we go. Boom. We need sensu beans in 2018. By the way,
how have we not had this yet?
Because I'm gonna tell you like this, guys. Young Cha had a hole in his stomach.
A whole hole through his body.
About 5-6 inches wide, right? It's a big ass hole, dude.
It's a big ass hole.
And he eats a sensu bean, and all you see is his shirt ripped and his abs are back.
Yeah, it's just
That's
like
it. Sensu beans are
sensu
lively.
beans heal everything. So it's kind of like, yo, he was on near death. He almost died again. He almost died off rip. I don't know. He doesn't fight much after this, Cell Saga for all the right reasons at this point.
Ever again, almost.
Goku's like, listen, you're gonna pay. I think Goku punches Android 19, knocks his kufi
Goku
off.
was pissed, of course.
He knocks his kufi off. Kufi slap him. Shout out to Dipset.
Immediately. Goku only reacts out of anger if one of the homies is hurting really bad.
Yeah, other than that, he's like, yo, I want to actually see your true strength.
It's a sensu bean. Show me what you got.
They agree to fly off somewhere to fight. They don't want to fight in the city. Actually, they blow
Wait,
up.
no, I'm about to say, before you say that, Goku is like, we can't fight here. And then 20.
There's too many people, right. Too many buildings.
And then 20 just kills half the city.
Yeah, I-beams.
Goku's like, that's not what I meant.
Listen, there's I-beams, and you just see half the city get blown up. Like, there's a map of it, and it's like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing. They fly off. They have to find somewhere else to fight. Somewhere with rocks and mountains. The regular shtick. It's like, it's got rock mountains,
just random land,
some great rock formation. There. They find a place. Piccolo was wary of it. He's like, yo, they definitely gonna escape in these mountains. If we start putting the whooping on them, they're definitely running into these mountains, and we definitely not gonna find them. It ends up happening.
Literally.
Goku's very tired, and Piccolo notices, and Tien notices, like, yo, we just flew here. Why is Goku huffing and puffing?
Yeah, because at first, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. At first, it was like Goku's about to just make sure everything gets situated. He's like, all right, I'm gonna handle both of these motherfuckers, and we're gonna move on.
Right.
But yeah, Goku, he starts sweating early.
Looks washed. looks something happened to him. He's sweating. He's He's like, yo. Actually,
Goku's like, what the fuck going on, man?
They explain their plan, Android 1920. They're here to kill Goku in revenge of the Red Ribbon Army. He said, we've been tracking you for years. We've seen all your battles. We've seen all your battles. We've seen all
little fly, a robotic android fly.
We've seen all your indie stuff. Like, we've seen everything. We know all your moves. We are here to destroy you. I've made the necessary calculations that at this point, even with your power-ups, we should be able to destroy you.
You're trash. We know everything about you.
And there's like, wow, did you come to Namek? And it's like, we did not find it sufficient to travel.
Dude, which for me was just really funny. They're like, we don't need to go there. It's fine.
They're like, oh, okay. No Namek? Word? You didn't know I fused with another Namekian? You didn't know this nigga was dead and training up with King Kai? You ain't know this nigga turned Super Saiyan now?
Mistakes were made not checking out Namek.
Easily. And then, so Goku turned Super Saiyan in preparation for this battle against Android 20. And
which makes his condition worse at the time.
Yeah, he starts putting the hurting on 20, but 20, Goku tries to go for the kill with a Kamehameha wave, and 20 absorbs it. We learn now, well, he learns a little bit too late. Thank you, Yamcha. That there are energy absorption models,
idiot,
and they can absorb energy and ki and all this other stuff. So he pretty much, swallows up the entire Kamehameha wave. He's happy, and things just start getting worse for Goku. It ends up being very, very dramatic in terms of just like, yo, he's breathing hard, he's clutching his chest, he's getting his ass whooped.
Everybody's watching on like, hold up,
damn. That's not Goku.
Yeah, like, wait, what's going on, man? He's losing.
He should be way stronger than this guy.
I remember when he hit the ground. I think his hair went back normal, and everybody was like, all right, we got to do something. We got to jump in. All 6 of them niggas was like, all right, we moving. Yeah, it's like, Goku's on the ground. We got to.
Yo, all 6 of them moved. They was like, yo, we moving at the same time? Bet. Like, because, so they try to move in, Android, I believe it's 19. Is he 19 or no? 19 at this
19 was the one fighting Goku.
19 was fighting.
20 was
Goku.
watching on.
20
and
was
he's making
watching
sure nobody interfered.
So he came in, boom, boom. Piccolo tries to get involved. He does a little Euro step, boom, boom. There's some eyeball, some blast through Piccolo's chest. He goes down.
Yeah, Piccolo's always taking direct shots, like in the abdomen, chest area. Like,
now, if I'm Krillin or if I'm Yamcha, I'm panicking at that point because I'm like, okay, Goku's down. Piccolo just tried some smooth shit, and he just got knocked out. What is going on? Are we really about to die to these things again? And then we get the entrance of, they note that it's the heart virus that is affecting Goku at this point. It's the heart virus that was supposed to come early. It did not come early. It came at the completely wrong time. We learned that Goku did not take any medicine because it wasn't affecting him at the time. They didn't know if they needed to take it because they didn't completely trust this guy from the future. And listen, some weird guy offers you drugs. Like,
I mean, I guess that's fair, but it's like he told you, like, the kid's basically related to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you get it. You know what's going on. Take the meds. I'm surprised Chi-Chi didn't make him take the meds. Right,
he probably didn't tell Chi-Chi.
He didn't. Matter of fact, you're absolutely right.
He probably didn't tell him. He was like, she's like, I'm not trying to have her make me eat this shit all week, every week, because she gonna make him do it.
You know what bothered me?
What?
So after Goku goes down and he's washed. Like his heart's going nuts. They make Yamcha take him back. And Yamcha flies to Chi-Chi really slow.
Listen, he's not a fast flyer, my friend. He's lucky he can fly at all at this point.
It's just ridiculous, man. What are you good for? And I also felt uncomfortable of him staying at Chi-Chi's house. I ain't like that, man. Take your ass home. Drop him off and get out of there.
Yo, nah, you gotta be. That's actually funny,
dude. You didn't notice that?
I did. You know what?
I was like, why now that you're still at the crib?
If he was my man's, if I was Gohan and I showed back up and Yamcha was there, and I was like, my nigga, what are you doing?
Dog, I would absolutely be like, why are you at the
crib? I will
Masenko
you through the crib.
Right,
you
my
need to leave.
on his deathbed, and you're here chilling with my mom for a few days. I ain't messing with that.
Yeah, not at all. We get the entrance of a lifetime, my friend. It is
the prince.
The prince is here. The prince is back. It's like it hits the little. The champ is here. Like one of those.
Yeah.
Vegeta in all his glory, he shows up. He kicks the android in the face. He's like, "Listen, if anyone's killing this nigga, it's gonna be me.
It's a wrap. I don't need nobody's help. Back up. Let me show y'all what I got.
The way he disposes of Goku, complete disgust.
When he kicks him?
He kicks him and Piccolo catches him like with one arm.
Piccolo makes no facial expression to why. Like he just like lands in Piccolo's.
He's like, I got him. Relax. That is funny as shit.
It's like, dude, this man's heart is failing. Like, why are you treating him like this?
Vegeta shows up. He's got a story to tell, my friend. He's got a story.
One of the most like descriptive going Super Saiyan like stories.
He's like, y'all niggas gonna listen to this because I know y'all sat through 40 episodes of this nigga turning Super Saiyan. Y'all gonna wait for me to turn Super Saiyan.
Which I'm glad they gave him that. Like they made it very dramatic, and I'm okay with that because it was the first time we're gonna see Vegeta, Super Saiyan, and yeah, I want to know how it happened.
So I've seen your energy absorbing technique. Oh well, if I can't blast you away, I'll have to pound you into a pulp, that's all.
You know some of my moves, but I know all of your moves, Vegeta. Oh yes, Dr. Gero studied you very thoroughly.
Oh, is that a fact? Then why were you so surprised when Kakarot turned into a Super Saiyan? I'll tell you why. Because your database doesn't cover the battles we had in space. Your bonehead creator picked a fine chapter to omit from your memory banks.
Oh?
That's right, my friend. Let me ask you, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? got him too.
Whoa! You know who joined the Super Saiyan Club? He is on our side, isn't he? Whoa, I'm confused. I thought you had to be like Goku to be one. Goku's so calm and detached and pure-hearted, but obviously those aren't considered prerequisites.
Afraid not. There's more than one way to reach the goal. Yes, to each his own.
Listen, Android 19 at this point, he's talking cat. You know, he's like, yo, I just beat your friend up.
Yeah, he ain't worried. He just beat Goku. He's thinking, I just beat
up.
Goku, bro.
I know you, Vegeta. I know all your tricks, man. You ain't shit either. Like, you could get washed too. You could come get these hands as well. And Vegeta's talking cash shit. He's like, word. Let me tell you about this. And he goes through the entire story. Well, first he turns Super Saiyan.
Right.
And the most incredible theme. It's like, it's something that like pulsates through your veins. They have this very like these like key themes through this entire series that just like hits every right note. The instruments are hitting, everything is hidden. Vegeta begins, his hair begins to glow yellow. The ground begins to shake underneath him. Everyone's like, fuck.
Yeah, everybody else's reaction, because they're just like, oh my God.
It was like,
not Vegeta's a Super Saiyan?
I thought you had to be a pure heart to be a Super Saiyan.
Right.
I am pure. Pure evil, nigga.
Right.
Oh my God. He goes through the story of how he turned Super Saiyan. He's essentially on this planet. He's training. Did they say he was trying to find Goku? I don't. Or he was just training on a planet.
He went to some. He took Bulma's ship, didn't he?
Because I believe he took Bulma's ship,
or he took the training capsule.
Yeah, but I think in the Garlic Jr. saga, when they're trying to explain that he was gone, and we don't need to get into Garlic Jr. shit. I mean, we might. Who knows? We might in the future.
I love Garlic Jr., but yeah, we can get into that later.
They explain about why Vegeta isn't here, or maybe on the last few episodes is like he's off looking for Goku. I swear I remember at some point they mentioned that he's off looking for Goku, but he's on this planet. The planet is it about to explode? Like, no, there's a meteor about to hit it.
Yeah.
He's been training 450 times gravity. He's been putting his body through hell. Niggas doing flips and shit in like biker shorts. The planet is about to explode. There's asteroids coming through it. He's trying to save his ship by blasting everything. There's this one big asteroid that shows up. He's trying his best to destroy it. He's unable to. At that point, he realizes like, yo, fuck this, man.
Because I believe he said at that point, I knew it was life or death. If my ship got destroyed, I'm finished. So,
and then he was like, yo, I don't care about this shit no more. This shit is trash. This nigga's always going to be stronger than me. I'm going to just be here. I'm going to die on a stupid-ass planet. No one's going to know who I am. Like, I won't be the legendary Super Saiyan. None of this shit is going to happen. And then he turns Super Saiyan. And somehow I'm assuming destroys the asteroid and gets off the planet and all this other shit.
Yeah.
They don't go that deep into detail, but...
we know what happens. He's back, so...
my nigga Vegeta's on 10. And everyone who loves Vegeta, this is like your peak Vegeta. This is like my nigga Vegeta.
This is it. Yeah, this is the moment that all the Vegeta fans were really waiting for him to get a nice moment.
He was like, yo, just wait till my nigga. And he faces Android 19. Just beats the hell out of him.
One of my favorite Vegeta fights. Just from the beginning of it to the end. The cockiness, the ass whooping, and how he destroys him was
at some point it's kind of like he does his move. If you ever watched the Chappelle Show and the Rick James thing, when Charlie Murphy kicks Rick James into like the glass mirror,
yeah,
he does one of those. He pretty much put one kick right through Android 19. He's standing over him. He's really beating the shit out of him. Android 19 thinks, yo, I got you. He grabs his hands. He's like, yo, I'm gonna steal your energy.
Oh man, I love this part, Meelz, bro. Dog, I love the way Vegeta ended this. Like 19's got his arms. I think he got his hands around Vegeta's wrists.
Yeah, he has his hands around his ribs. He's locked on. He's like, yo, I'm not letting go. I'm not letting go. I don't care how much you scream. I'm not letting go. Vegeta's like, oh, you're not letting go?
Vegeta starts walking up this man's body.
Yeah.
He just presses his feet up against his face.
Feet up in his face, and he's like, I'm going to pull your hands off. And he's like, no, you're not. And eventually, Vegeta, for some reason, the android doesn't let go. He's like, yo.
Well, Vegeta says, if you're not going to let go, we'll see about that.
He blows his hands off. Pulls his hands off,
rips them.
So there's no way he can absorb energy now. So apparently he's pretty much useless. He has this great line. Can an android ever experience fear?
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Some cool Vegeta shit. Some shit that he says when he's on 10. When he's on top of the moment, he's got lines for days. He's got bars for days.
Right. And 19 is absolutely shook. Like, immediately they're kind of in a deep crater.
Yeah, it's
19 just immediately starts trying to climb out the crater.
Tries to climb out. He's like, "Oh, you can experience fear." And then I think we see, is this the debut of the Big Bang Attack?
It was Big Bang Attack. He didn't say it, but it was definitely Big Bang Attack.
Listen, he was Android 20. No, Android 20 is like, yo, chill. What are you doing? That's my man. And he was like, word, now you losing? You want to beg for mercy?
Right. Dude, Vegeta, Vegeta was talking so much shit, bro.
He was talking so much shit. He was like, wow, now that you're losing, you want to beg for mercy? Nigga blows him to smithereens. All that's left is a head that tumbles by, that laid out, and Android 19 is dead.
That's it. Boom.
It's over. Awesome. Super Saiyan Vegeta has lived up to whatever he is. Another body under Vegeta's name. They're stacking up at this point.
Absolutely.
One of his most fun deaths. It's just fun killing people.
Because you know what always happens? Vegeta gets in a situation where he may be stronger and he's toying around, he's playing, and then some crazy happens, and then Vegeta can't finish the job because of whatever.
Right.
And then somebody else has to. But this time he actually got it done. That's what made it so great. It was like, oh, no twists.
So at this point,
annihilates him.
So at this point, 20 is just like, I bet your head tumbles as just easily as his does.
Yeah. Again, just talking it.
My nigga 20 is sweating. He is sweating.
Trying to figure out what am I going to do to get the fuck out of this. And not to mention, I think everybody else is still there.
Yeah.
So this is a bad situation for 20.
So Vegeta's like, I'm gonna give you some space to run. I'm gonna give you a running head start. You can run, but you can't hide from Super Vegeta. He called himself Super. I don't think he calls himself Super Vegeta at this point, does he?
No, I think he does, and that's not the first time.
Yeah,
or it's not the last time.
It's not the last time, but he calls himself Super Vegeta, and he was like, "Yo, you could dip if you want to, you know." So he lets the android dip. The android escapes into the mountains just like everyone thought he would. And Vegeta, we all learned this was a bluff. Because Vegeta had no more energy. Vegeta was depleted. Piccolo was like, I'm sure Android 20 could have whooped that ass, but the way Vegeta was talking that cash shit.
It didn't matter. He was so scared. Dude.
The way he was dropping those authentic bars.
Just put him on the ropes. It was just too much. Like, that's why Vegeta has always been such a great fighter, because he gets in the head of the opponent.
My nigga said, yo, Piccolo was like, yo, throw that man a senzu bean.
And then Krillin was like, hold on.
Yo, I'm gonna get this nigga.
He said, I'm gonna get this nigga half. This man gave him half a senzu bean, bro.
Yo, the way they chew that shit is some crunchy shit, bro.
Hey, man, should I chew it too if it's gonna help me?
That shit is crunchy as fuck, nigga. That shit makes so much noise when you chew it. And then Vegeta's like, yo, y'all niggas could go home.
Go check on Goku. I'll handle everything else.
It's so funny. And niggas like, y'all could go home. I got this. And he tries to find 20 in the mountains. 20 is like, yo, I'm hiding. My nigga, I can't come face to face with this nigga. I need to steal energy. The rest of the Z Fighters like, nah, nigga, we ain't trained for this long to be just like dipping. I got it.
Of course, if any of the listeners don't know, because 20 is an android, they can't sense his energy.
Right.
So him escaping is a big deal. You know, he's just tough to find.
My nigga Piccolo was like, yo, I ain't ironed this new fit to be standing around getting dust kicked up on it, bro.
Whatever, man. Piccolo changes his outfit with power.
Right.
I don't even know. How he does it, bro.
It's a move, man. It's a move. Let's see. We got a few parts after this. We got Vegeta tries to blast him out, makes a mistake. Android 19 comes in, gobbles up all that energy. The rest of the Z fighters show up. They're looking for him. He manages to grab Piccolo from behind.
Of course. He starts taking energy from his mouth too, huh?
Yeah, he grabs him by the mouth. He's like, "Yo, so you can't say shit. I don't need nobody hitting you at this point." Wraps his legs around him, wraps his arms around him, pretty much got him. Piccolo uses his
telekinesis.
He now has telepathy at this point.
This man said, "Go on."
Yo,
the androids got me.
Yo, you need to watch the bridge. I'm gonna send you to a bridge.
Yo, bro, yeah, please do, because I could imagine like what that sounds like.
This is so funny. Gohan shows up, axe handles the nigga,
hit the shit out of him, actually, dude. Like,
hit the shit off of him. Then Piccolo fights Android 19 or 20 at this point. Piccolo fights Android 20 and you start beating the shit out of him. He was like, "Yo, my nigga, actually, Piccolo trained for this shit too." Yeah. And 20 is like, "Yo, I didn't anticipate none of these dudes being as strong as they probably are right now."
He's just so unprepared. He's the opposite of how he should have came about this. Man should have went to Namek. All this because he didn't go to Namek.
All this because he didn't want to finish his research. He did it. This is so important about why you do your research on every possible thing.
This man did not send the fly to Namek.
If he had gone to Namek, he would have seen all this shit. I mean, the bug might have blew up because the planet blew up. Who knows?
But he still saw Goku's transformation.
Remotely, he would have saved it. It would have been up on the cloud or something.
Yeah. He would have knew about it.
He could have downloaded it from the cloud. But now he's on the run. Trunks shows up. Trunks is like, "Yo, I'm back." I don't know why he comes back.
He came back, didn't he?
Does he come back to like, "Yo, I want to see how this shit going"? Like, I
feel like something happened.
Why does he come back?
Did he? No, it wasn't. Did he see 19's head?
He saw 19's head, but I still don't know the reason why he came back. I feel like he came back
because I remember he say, "Oh, it's Trunks," but what?
Yeah, I know he comes back and they notice him, but I'm like, "Yo, why is he here?" I think he's trying to figure out like, "Yo, is everything going right in this time?" Because shit hasn't changed in my time.
Maybe.
So I gotta go see what's going on. He goes up, he sees Android 19's head, and he was like, "That's not the nigga I was talking about."
Like, I ain't never seen him.
I ain't never seen one of them before, bruh. He sees that head. He sees it rolling across. He's like, "Fuck, some shit fucked
good.
up."
This isn't good.
Something. He shows up. Bulma is weirdly there as well. She shows up. In the few seconds she's there and playing the active role, she IDs Android 20, which turns out to be Dr. Gero. And Dr. Gero's like, "Yo, that's my chance."
Gotta go.
Blows up Bulma's ship, makes his escape. He's like, "Yo, I gotta head back to my lab and I gotta awaken the other androids."
The real androids.
The real androids.
Trunks really was trying to warn him about. Not these two suckers.
It's just crazy.
This man Gero really turned himself to an android.
I mean,
had his brain on display.
I mean, at this point,
isn't
I feel
that dangerous?
You know what?
What kind of design is that?
Here's how I feel.
If you're going to design yourself.
Here's how I feel. I feel like it was a design so he could take his brain out and put it in something else if he needed to.
Maybe you could be right. He is.
And I also feel like he turned into an android to give himself without finding the Dragon Balls, become immortal in a sense. Because the way he was spending, like it would have taken 20 years for Cell to sort of become in his form. He would have never seen it go through. That's why he kind of let the machine do his thing. But eventually he would have died. I mean, he dies anyway. Spoiler alert. But I think he does that to sort of live forever at this point. Trunks saves Bulma, and he's like, "Yo, why didn't you save Bulma?" And
yeah, he's pissed. He's pissed. Vegeta was like, Nigga, I didn't even know they was here.
Yeah, nigga, that woman is always in my business, and I don't appreciate it.
It's really like, take the baby and go. Why are they even here?
And then they started arguing. He was like, yo, I think that was Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero. Vegeta's like, what are you talking about, woman? He's literally like, yo, you have no idea what you talk about. And she's like, shut the fuck up. This is how you know they are like peak couple at this point.
Yeah.
They're having a squabble. He's like, you don't know shit. And he's like, nigga, I know more than you. How about that?
It's like, I'm a genius. So.
I'm a genius. I don't know what, the Planet of the Apes you crawled off of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a genius. So they're like, yo, no, actually, he's probably heading back to his lab. That looks like I'm like, how do you know all of this? She's like, yeah, I read it in my dad's science magazines and shit. His lab is over that way. I think he's heading to his lab. So now it's a chase.
Like, bro, you couldn't tell us where Dr. Gero's lab was, like, whenever you found out.
But that's true. Because they knew.
They know. I mean,
they knew it was Dr. Gero behind it.
Yeah.
Because the niggas was Krillin was like from off rip. He was like, yo, why don't we just kill Dr. Gero?
Bro, you got red ribbon logos everywhere.
Yeah. He's got, he's like red ribbon.
I may get tatted, by the way.
Red ribbon?
I may get the red ribbon tatted.
Listen, Android 8 in the building.
Yeah, I may get that red ribbon tatted.
He was like, because Krillin was like, yo, let's just destroy Dr. Gero off rip. Like, we don't even need to go through these waiting for 3 years shit. And they were like, nah, he hasn't done anything yet. I was like, yo.
Krillin knew what the fuck. Krillin was trying to protect himself because he know I'm liable to die out here.
Yeah, he really did. He really did.
Let's handle this now so I ain't got to worry about it.
So it's a chase to Dr. Gero's lab. They don't know where it is, but they know the direction they're going in. Android 19 is on foot. He was like, yo, I can't fly out here. They're going to catch me heavy in these streets. They're going to jump me real quick. I'm going to stomp out. He's hopping rock to rock. He's hopping rock to rock. They're all trying to find him. Krillin is the one who ends up finding him. Krillin gets fucked up for a quick moment,
Yeah. But that's he didn't die, guys.
He didn't die. He catches the hands real quick, blah, blah, blah. But Krillin ends up finding the lab. And he signals everyone to come over, and they come over to the lab. But already in the lab,
this evil has went down inside the lab. Android wastes no time. Goes inside there and brings him up.
Android 17 and 18 are awake, and I think this was the moment I was waiting because I had no idea of these first two androids. I didn't see them in any designs. When you Google androids...
Yeah, I didn't either.
All you see is 17 and 18. I knew about 17 and 18. I never knew about Dr. Gero turning himself into an android. And I never knew about 19's androidness as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I never saw those. So when I finally saw these guys, I was like, oh, these are the guys. And 17, they're both young. They're both, trendy.
Yeah, they're twins,
I don't think they're...
Are they twins?
They haven't explained in everything that I've sort of read. They say that 18 is older than 17, but that could still be the case of twins. Maybe
they're definitely brother and sister.
They're brother and sister. I don't know if they're actually... I think she does mention that's my twin brother at some point.
I think they're twins, but you know what? While we're on it, we got to go back, man, because those fits are hard, bro.
Listen.
Those fits are hard, bro. First of all, 18 is beautiful. She's absolutely gorgeous, and 17 is a handsome guy. They're both done very well. They don't necessarily look frightening, or look strong, which is what makes me enjoy so much.
I wonder what decision they made to go with the same hair for 17 as they did 18.
I mean, if they are twins, I'm assuming that has something to do with it. But it's like I as long as they were different colors, I guess that's fine. I didn't mind that.
And I think on the next episode, we can go deeper into like the history of 17 and 18, because the next episode is heavy on 17 and 18 at this point. But he opens, they open the case. It's like, 17 and 18. And it was like, I need you to destroy Goku's friends. And they're like,
nigga, why?
Yeah.
Why, bro? Like, for what?
And they're just like, you're disobeying my orders. They're fresh. They're talking off the mouth. He's like, I will destroy you. I got this button. Snatch.
Well, I like even in general, as soon as they're woken up, they're already looking at ways to kill this. Like, that was the coolest thing to me.
About their eyes. They're like looking around.
They're like looking around because from my understanding, the last time Gero, I guess, woke them up or something had went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were disobeying or something, so they added something into them to kind of give them that, to try to level them off, and it just did not work clearly.
Right.
So yeah,
it's and I found out reading the manga. This is one of the very few things I found out reading the manga that was different than, or not different, but expounded on the actual cartoon show, was because they were infinite energy models. They were harder to control than the energy absorption models.
Okay,
and
I mean, that's cool.
Because
it's a cool little thing.
Yeah, it's because they don't really have to listen, because their energy never they never really have to experience not tragedy, but anything that's sort of I don't know. They never really have to experience the negative effects. They're not out here
right.
18, they could still, there's 19 still get their ass whooped and it's actually over. Their energy goes on for life. So if it's a battle of time, they'll last throughout whatever. So I think that just makes them more cocky.
Right. They don't need to absorb anything.
Yeah.
They are what they are.
It adds to their attitude.
They're still very, I mean, they do have an attitude, but it's still very humanesque. You know what I'm saying? It's still they're just kids who are very strong, who are evil.
They are banging in front of the door. They're like, yo, nah, Gero can hear them outside of the door because Vegeta's yelling at Trunks or some shit like that.
Of course. That's exactly what was going on, because Vegeta was about to blow that shit up, and Trunks was like, dude, don't do it, Dad.
He's like, yo, they're here. And then they finally blow up the door. Vegeta's like, yo, fuck this. I'm kicking over this fucking door. Fuck this shit, man. He blasts through the door. They open the door. They see the androids. He's like, oh, just how you destroyed, you detail these second, it's a woman and a young man.
Yeah. Vegeta's like, so this is it? A young, pretty girl, and he said something else about 17. He's like, this is all you have?
This is all you have? And Gero's like, yo, destroy them or I'll destroy you. And they snatch the machine out of his hand and they destroy it. And he was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You were idiots, blah, blah, blah. And then pretty much 17 literally kicks the head off of his shoulders. Caclow. And Dr. Gero's dead.
Did they wake up my man's prior to that?
Oh yes, they wake up. There's another android.
That's how they got into it, because that's not how they got into it, but that made it worse.
Oh, he was like, yo, don't wake up that model. And it was like, yo, you made another android model? What a weirdo. And it ended up,
they was clowning him like
this
a dad that they just did not like.
Yeah, there was like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, he's not finished yet. And it was like, yo, this must be one of your defective types. So they woke up Android 16. So now it's 3 androids, which is way different than, at this point we have 5 androids when Trunks had 2. Yeah. And everyone's mad at him. It's like, nigga, I don't know what.
You're a fucking liar, dude. Why did this happen?
I don't know what the fuck you was talking about. 17 kicks the head off of Dr. Gero's shoulders. He's dead. He's gone forever.
Quick.
And now they're looking at them and they're like, yo, it's time to fight these androids. The androids actually fly off and Vegeta's like, nah, I'm gonna find these niggas.
Yeah, here's something interesting that I did want to get into you with how you feel about it. Just them really not caring about anything.
Right.
The only reason they even went to Goku was because of 16.
Right. They kind of did.
And I don't know. They're just very nonchalant characters. Sometimes they don't really come off as antagonists. They're just very, I don't know. They just have this strange rogue personality.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also not I'm gonna kill everybody on planet right now.
To me, they want to wreak havoc and cause pain, but at some point they also yearn to be human and have human experiences. And we see that when we talk about in the next episode, they don't fly to Goku's house, they drive to Goku's house.
Right.
but they want to have these sort of human experiences, and they want to have all these human interactions and things, and just do things kind of human. But they know the power that they have, and they're the strongest on Earth. And it makes me wonder the decision they made to terrorize the Earth in Trunks' time, because in Goku's time, it doesn't really seem that way.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I really wanted to talk to you about that, because the way Trunks makes it sound like is
they're
these
killers.
androids, right? Like they woke up and they just started murking everybody.
But in this time, they're androids, but they'll kill people if they get in their way, but they won't really like harm anybody.
Right. They're not worried about the issues unless it comes to them.
So they fly off, and Vegeta flies off after them, and Trunks is like, "Yo, nah, stop! We gotta wait for Goku." And this nigga is like, "Yo,"
which was the wrong thing to say to Vegeta, bro.
He's like, because
Vegeta's like, Kakarot,
I don't gotta wait for him. I'm a Super Saiyan now.
Yeah, you see my hair, bro? We ain't waiting for him.
He's like, listen, because I think, does he say blatantly, because you're not as strong as Goku?
Trunks?
I don't remember, but he says something along that.
He definitely mentioned Goku, and
he mentioned something along that.
10 times worse.
And Vegeta punches him in the chest and is like, "Yo, get out my way." Like,
Trunks was shocked.
Get out my way.
He was shocked. Vegeta socked him.
And Piccolo's like, "Damn, that's some bad parenting, my nigga."
Yeah, like, what in the world?
Oh my god! But this is the end of episode 8, and the first part of our Android and Cell saga.
Yeah, some really, really awesome things we're going to get to discuss next time too, because it starts to heat up even more after this.
Easily. I did some research. I did some just some wild research tidbits that I've done on the first few episodes. I learned. I was researching things. I learned King Cole is not stronger than Frieza.
I didn't think so, but cool. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
I learned the androids 19 and 20. Similar to it, there's parallels between this and the Terminator movie. Okay. The way they destroyed the cities, and also in the Terminator movie, the robots or the evil guys also show up on May 12th.
That's pretty cool.
Which is a nice little tidbit. I learned, and maybe we'll get more into this when we talk about the androids in the next episode or a couple episodes. Mm-hmm. Android 16 is designed after Dr. Gero's son.
Really?
Yes. So Dr. Gero's son was a member of the Red Ribbon Army that was, he wasn't like a notable player, but he ended up being killed in this entire thing with Goku.
Of course.
So that is why Android 16, his main purpose, his defining purpose is just to kill Goku.
Very cool, dude. So, I did not know that.
I learned, and this is probably the last thing, one of the most interesting things I learned in an interview with Kazuhiko Torishima. Mm-hmm. They said Android 19 and 20 were actually supposed to be the main villains in the series.
Well, thank God that did not happen.
But I believe they clowned Toriyama on the design. Mm-hmm. So he made 17 and 18, and then they were supposed to be the main villains of the series. And then I think he got clowned one more time about them, and so he just made Cell.
Well, he got that one right.
Yeah, so he gets to Cell eventually, but Android 19 and 20 were supposed to be the villains of this entire story.
How were you felt about that? Just off design, because they're not anywhere near as intriguing as 17 and 18.
So it's weird because they would have dragged this out way more episodes.
Yeah.
But now they kind of can prove that people can just kind of come in and beat the shit out of people, and it can end very squarely quickly. I don't know how I would have felt about this. I think it would have got out that Dr. Gero was, I think they would have had the same storyline as what Cell ends up having, where they go around sort of absorbing people's energy to become stronger. And maybe they transform into a new form or something. That's at least what I think would have happened.
I wonder what happens. Well, I guess we can talk. Well, we'll obviously talk about Cell more. I'm just curious what if he like absorbed somebody else, like Vegeta or somebody?
Interesting. We'll get into that. This has been episode 8 of The Lookout. Everyone tuning in, thank you. You can listen to this on RNC Radio Live. You can listen to this. That is the SoundCloud name. You can also subscribe to RNC Radio on iTunes, where you can find a slew of other shows like The Perfect Play, hosted by Huey. You can find The A Show, hosted by myself and Justin Davis. You can find RNC Radio, the podcast, hosted by Justin Davis and Josh Pease. You can find Jeff and Mark on RSPN as we're in the midst of playoff season. Everything is heating up. We have new episodes every Friday from those guys. We have new shows coming. We have new playlists on the way, always. Yeah, man. Listen, thank you guys for listening. This is a Saturday morning you're listening to this. So if you listen to this on a Saturday morning, props to you. I hope you're just like the cartoons you used to watch. But we're going to get in some... Listen, we went very thorough in this, and it's only going to continue to get more thorough as we pass by.
Absolutely.
But until then, this is episode 8 of the Lookout. Hashtag Lookout RNC if you want to, engage in the discussion.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening, always.
Listen, we'll be back next episode. If you're tuning in, if you want to see what's talking about next episode, we are talking about Android 16, Android 17, Android 18, and of course, Cell. So we will see you then. Take care.